It was a typical Saturday afternoon in Austin, the kind of warm, quiet day where everything felt slower. I was in the kitchen getting a glass of water when Carla, my mother-in-law, casually asked if I could give her a quick shoulder massage. She said she'd been feeling tense all week. Her voice was calm, almost inviting, and the way she sat, tired, like she hadn't slept well in days, made it hard to say no. Carla had always been polite but distant with me, and I'd always tried to respect that boundary. "Sure," I said, hesitantly, as I walked over. She pulled her hair to one side and tilted her neck slightly, exposing the tight curve of her shoulders. I placed my hands gently and began working on the tension. At first, it was simple. Her muscles were tight, her posture stiff. But as my hands moved, the atmosphere in the room began to change. She shifted subtly under my touch. The silence stretched, not uncomfortable, exactly, but heavy. Each moment passed slower than the last. I tried to focus, to keep it mechanical. Helpful. Innocent. But something in the room had shifted. Carla relaxed more with every movement. I paused for a second, my hands resting still on her shoulders, unsure if I should keep going or stop completely. Then she spoke, softly, but clearly. "You're really good at this." The words hung in the room like fog. There was something about the way she said it that sent a flicker of unease through me. Her voice wasn't playful. It wasn't casual. I didn't know how to respond. She shifted again, slightly, slowly, her arm brushing mine, her eyes catching mine for just a second. "I've been meaning to tell you something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. And then her hand lifted, her fingers grazing my cheek. My heart skipped. I froze. There was a pause, longer than it should have been. Everything in the room stilled. Even the sunlight through the blinds felt like it had stopped moving. What was she going to say? My thoughts raced. I had no idea what this moment had become. Then, she smiled. A light, almost teasing laugh escaped her. "You're such a good son-in-law," as she said, chuckling softly. "I don't tell you that enough." The air changed instantly. The tension, whatever it had been, evaporated. I blinked. My hands dropped to my sides as I stepped back. My heart was still pounding. Had she felt it too? Or had I just imagined everything? I couldn't tell if I was supposed to laugh or be relieved. She leaned back in her chair, stretched, and let out a long sigh. "You really have a way of making people feel better," she said. This time, her voice was casual again. "Normal." I gave a small nod, trying to smile, unsure what else to say. I left the room, the warmth of the moment still burning quietly under my skin. As I climbed the stairs, I kept replaying it in my mind. Her voice, her touch, the way time had slowed. Had it all meant something? Or was it just a strange, harmless misunderstanding? I didn't know. But it lingered. The next few days, things between us returned to normal, or close enough. She asked me about work. I answered politely. We made small talk, like always. But underneath, I felt it. The memory pressing at the edges of every word, every silence. I wanted to move on. I wanted to forget the flicker of possibility, the way the air had thickened with unspoken questions. But the truth was, I couldn't forget. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to.